Hello, Sarah at My Crafty Corner. Thank you so much for stopping by. So I thought what I would do is go through a cute little paper bag mini album that I've just made with leftover pieces and bits and stuff like that I had. Actually also, while I'm at it, I will just kind of show this one as well. Yeah, so actually I think I think I will go with this one first, and then because this is all kind of like leftover stuff, so I just wanted to kind of show you. So this one is a 6x6, no, let me take that back, 6.5 by 6 3/4. And let me make sure, zoom it out just a little bit so make sure I'm in frame here. All right, so this was actually using a little paper pack from Hobby Lobby, the tropical paper crafting kit. So you get like 10 sheets of paper, and then you get 2 of each, so 5 designs, 2 of each, and then you get the stickers and the letter stickers, the sticker sheet, and then the little embellishment stickers. They're like the little pop-ups like this. So that's what I used. Obviously I can't show you any of the papers because I don't have any left, but what I've done is on the cover, let's see, I've used craft cardstock to wrap my albums and use for my base papers. And then I took, I also added in just some different colored cardstock. So like I have this, well, actually this, I didn't use any of the lighter color in this one. I used the darker, and then I have the coral color, and I have a sandy color and dark blue. Like, so here's the dark blue, here's the, all right, so this is Beach Surf. This was in that little sticker pack, and I just used that sand, like paper color, and I tore it, and I put, oh, what is that? Grit paste, I think is what I put on there, and then I did it with some white to kind of make it look like the water, and I stamped in the background, and then I used the ocean waves for the little title there. And then there was the sheet in there that has this like planked pattern, and I just cut those down and made like a frame. Right, pop that up on some foam tape. The side is just those 2 colors, the blue and the other, and I may end up putting something there. I'm not really sure yet. And then here's the back. I matted it with, this was I think my favorite paper, with the hibiscus. And I also went around on just the cardstock. I went around the edges of it with my little paper distresser tool, right? And opening it up, I made these little slider pieces here. So you slide it and then it pops out, and then this opens up. You have spaces for photos here. You can put a photo here on the belly band if you want, and then it has a tag thing that comes out with the pretty paper. I didn't double mat everything. I only double matted like on the inside and outside covers. I didn't double mat on the inside. And then just a nice area here. You could of course stamp on there, add embellishments or just whatever. I added just a little starfish die that I had, and made a little charm to like hang off this tag. And I just used the scrap pieces of paper that I had left over to make the tags with. Well, some of the leftover pieces. Like that. And then twine to just do, now, twine to hang on the tag. And then to hang this, I just used a little ring, and the starfish is cut out of watercolor paper, and then I inked it with evergreen bough, and then I laid the die actually has the little dot pattern on there, so I just laid it back down on there, and I went in with my my gel pen, and I just made that, and then I covered it with clear embossing powder, and I got this one off of Amazon. So yeah, I used that one, and I thought that turned out pretty cute. And then of course that just slips back in there, and it is very chunky, so I have a feeling when I go to put photos in here, it is going to be a super super chunky. So, and then that's what keeps that closed, just embellishment there. Now when I did this, I was not really thinking so much through. If I'd have planned a little bit better, I wouldn't have done it like this, because this is actually a flap, but you can't open it from this side because I had accidentally glued the wrong side down when I was making it. So you do actually have to flip it. There's tags here. I actually haven't finished in here. I haven't embellished in here as much as I did on the other one, but tags in these two little pockets. And then this opens, got a magnet. This opens up. And then you can say it opens this way. It's fine. And then there is a little, see, I haven't finished it. A little pocket here with a tag. And then that opens up. I actually started this one first, but I'll tell you what, the little paper bag one, I think I had so much more fun making it than I did this one. So then this, just like that, and then the same thing on this. I did like a double spread here, and I just made these bands. And I probably will go back and mat that. I didn't this go around, but I probably will. I have some extra bits of paper, and then just paper here, cardstock, and then of course, actually it slides in on the top. Oh boy, yeah, it does. There we go. Okay, and then that just holds down. Same thing with this one here. Same thing on that. I'll mat that, and then it just swings out like that. And I like it on the top. There we go. These come from a little sticker sheet. And then it kind of follows in like the other, where you have the pockets and the tags there. I colored my little hole reinforcers. I just used the Avery reinforcement labels and then colored those to match. I used, in this one, I used evergreen, bow, and saltwater taffy and walnut stain. And I kind of wished in this one that I added more yellow, because in the other one I did, and I think it just turned out so much better. And I still have to finish those tags off as well. So then that opens up. Actually, it's the same thing. This opens, and then really you need to swing this, and I still have that tag there to finish. And it's just a little flip pocket there, same as the first. So it's just design-wise, it's a little weird. Of course, it's staying with me, so I know how it goes. But if I did this one again, I would do that a little different. And then just a sticker here. I left this where you can tuck it in, and then this one actually just runs the opposite direction, so pops out like that. Photo here, photo here. I think you could fit a 3x4 photo on there. And then what's in this pocket here, this belly band, is pretty much the same, except this time I just took a sticker and hung it off the tag, and it says relax, and then it's just a tag in there. Like that. And then that just slides back down in here. It's a pretty tight squeeze, but that's okay. And then this one just slips back down, and it slides up like that, and that keeps that closed. And that's all for that one, which is, I mean, pretty chunky. So especially once you go to put photos in there, it's going to really bulk it up a bit more, I think. So But the one that I really like, I had so much fun making this one. It was just fun. I just say it was just fun. Okay. All right. So this is just made out of, like, you know, your regular little lunch sacks. And these are actually 5 1/8 by 10 7/8. So, of course, all lunch sacks are made differently. You know, they're not all the same. I did use some of the stickers in here from that sticker sheet, but I made most of the embellishments myself with just different dies and things like that I have. So the hibiscus and then the leaf bit here, and this hibiscus, they come from the Tim Holtz, from a Tim Holtz set. This beach I got off of, I don't know, Temu or Amazon, probably Temu if I'm not mistaken. And then the little flip-flop charms here is actually just paper. It's a die. I cut these. I layered them up, and then I just coated them. I inked it with fossilized amber, and then coated those in UT until they were, you know, it's a pretty solid piece there. And then the clip, this comes undone. The clips are just those, like, what are they called? Bulldog clips. And I just, is that what they were called? Or is that completely something weird? These are pretty cheap ones, though. They're not, I think these probably came from, like, the Dollar Tree, because they're, you know, anyways. I alcohol inked these. I had a few more that I did. And I honestly, I don't remember what colors I used. I just used until I got it to match as best I could. And then I know I did use some pearl on these with the pink, or the corally pink color. So just some extra of those. And then I just hung that off of there with that little charm there, just with that little garment pin. Yeah. So then this is the spine. You can see I did actually use some cardstock to kind of make those little gussets to give it so that I could put a few more embellishments and things like that on there. And then the back side here, and this just has my handmade by, and then more of that. And I kind of did this to match this paper, and then added the yellow because there's actually some of the stickers that have that yellow color in it, so I thought that matched pretty nicely. And then, so with that, this little piece is just a strip. I did attach it to the back. I had debated leaving it as removable, but I did glue it to the back. So you could do either. And then this, of course, is magnetized. And there's 2 magnets in here. You can kind of see them here. But they're there so that if this grows, this can stretch a little and it still holds. Okay. And then I just used some of the leftover bits of paper and stuff that I had. And then these little pockety envelope, whatever you call those little sacks, I guess. I actually got those on clearance. I think for like 45 cents for 25 little bags. So I bought a couple of those, and then I have the white ones as well. So I pulled those. And I stamped using Playful Textures stamp from Annette Green, the Elizabeth Craft Designs. And I just made a little tag to go in there. Now, the yellow paper did not come with the paper pad. I actually found some in my stash, and when I seen it, I was just like, ooh, that really looks good with that. So that's why I have the yellow. I used the little yellow, I had some little yellow eyelets, and I thought, how adorable. So, and then I just stamped on there with the evergreen bough, and I had the little wooden stamps, letter stamps, and so I stamped fun out, cut it and made it like a little tag so that when it slips down in here and you close it, it says beach fun. So I thought that was cute. All right. So there's that. And then you also have a pocket here. And I did not mat the back sides because I was kind of running low and it was getting pretty chunky. So I just matted one side of the tags. I feel like the back side, besides the smaller ones, you can put a picture on it. It'll be fine. Here's that starfish. And I did the same thing with the white gel pen on there, just to give it, you know, some little extra, a little something extra. I didn't coat it with the glossy accents, or not the glossy accents, the embossing powder, but that's kind of your little pull thing there. Right. And then this flips down. And here I just used, this was from the little sticker sheet, and it's raised. And then I had some coral that I just cut out and I colored to add embellishment there. And then this flips open. And another sticker there, the paper, just a couple of tags with some scrap paper. Now, yeah, I didn't mat that. Oh, I should have matted that with the thing. I may have to go back through and redo that. But anyways, so there's that. And then this little like rope looking die here and here I got from it's a Borders die from Annette Green, I do believe. Everyday Elements, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, love those. So there's that. And then this over here, and maybe you can see it, has a tag on the inside of this one. Again, the back's not covered. That starfish. I did use my punch, a 2-inch punch there, to punch out the circles in the bag to give that, so that you know that there's something to pull there. A larger tag here. See, I added that. I just did a thing on that one. Here's the wave die from that, like that right there. So I used that. I thought that was adorable. Pocket here. And then I also have the little paper clips, and I stamped, this is a stamp set from Esther at Elizabeth Craft Designs. It says vacay. There's relax, travel, and love. I used the vacay moment, stamped that on the coral color cardstock and the evergreen bow. And I thought that matched. That turned out really cute. And then it just slides. Well, it just slides on here like that. And then, so this closes, this closes. I'm going to go ahead and clip that back on there so I don't lose that. Like so. All right, and then this whole bit opens. And then you have another tag in there. Just use that hibiscus type flower, and then just, I mean, you, like I said, I was just using some of the leftover piece, especially I had more of the cardstock left over than I did the, and you guys notice that looks crooked. Maybe it's the way the paper's designed, but you know, kind of crooked. But anyways, just a photo mat. Tuck in there. I have the seahorse one. Just use that, colored it up with the fossilized amber. Here's another one of them little stickers. A little extra tag in there. A tag here. I didn't do anything special on that tag, just, and then that's just down in there. And then on this side, I don't have an extra tag on this end, but I have that little seahorse again with the coral on there. Oh, actually, yes, I did. It fell out. Took that little sack, I stamped it with the saltwater taffy with those playful textures, and then I kind of just inked around. Then I took another little tag thing with sun, sea, and sand. I just used a stamp set I had. I'm not sure where it came from. Amazon or Temu probably. And then that slides in there. I actually wished I'd kind of put that at the top so that you could see it when it's sticking out, but it's fine. And then this opens up, and of course you have another tag in a pocket there. This seashell, same thing. I did use my white gel pen a lot to kind of add some detail, and inked with walnut stain. I did ink around the edges of the paper with the walnut stain. And then of course did the little paper distresser on just the cardstock. So there we go. Even the flowers, if it was cardstock, it got the distressing. Now I did it with the seashells. Huh. Or the coral. That would have been, oh, that would have been terrible. Well, you couldn't have done it all with that. So some of them I had to do with like with my scissors. But anyways, this comes from the sticker sheet. I just used the stickers here. That was wide enough, so I spelled beach down. Just highlighted it with my gel pen to kind of make it pop a little bit more, not look so plain. Same thing here, just kind of added some detail. Here's another one of those little envelopes. I actually did 3 of these. So the one on the front had the evergreen bough. The second one there had saltwater taffy, and now this one is the fossilized amber. And I just made a little tag to journal on. It just sits down in there. And then this one I actually made a little tag, and I put the thing in it. Life's a Beach. Came from the same stamp set that the Sea, Sun, and Sand came from. And then of course there's a tag in here as well. And then that just slips down there. See, I like that because then you can, it just adds a little something extra there. And then of course this side, hopefully that's not out of frame. Another tag here, just using some of the scrap paper and then the seashell. So either you can journal here, put a picture here, you can cover it all, or you can put a picture on the back or journal on the back, whichever you want to do. And then let me unclip this. I have another clip here. The little charm, it's the little beach ball, and it came from that same little set, and I did the same thing. And so the reason I'm pulling that off is because this is big, but you'd think it opens there, but it does not. It opens here. So I took those flowers, took that leaf, did those here just to create a little something. And then of course it is kind of opened somewhat to well, actually this, it's not as much as I thought it was. Oh well, it's fine. If nothing else, you could just journal and put a photo there. Then this opens, and you have a tag on this end. Use that starfish on there. This little flappy's getting in the way. All right, and then here, well, even on this side, same thing. There's that sticker that had that yellow. That's where I got that at. So that just slides in there. And then the way I placed these bags, I used the like sand dollar. And I just made a little closure thing. That yellow, just a little pocket using that beach word again. I'd already made that one because I was actually was going to use it on the front, and I ended up not liking it on the front. And so I thought I would just put it in here. So I just stuck it with a strip of the paper and made a little pocket out of it, and then these little bitty tiny starfish on the side there, just to add a little bit of that coral in there with that coral there, so that it all kind of goes together. And then I layered these up like 3 times, I think. And then I just took a piece of chipboard because I was gonna try to stick a brad through it, and I thought that's gonna look weird. And so all I did was I just took a piece of chipboard, like a little round, like I just cut a square piece or round piece, kind of rounded it, I think, just so that it made the twine wrap better. Just glued it on both those sides. You could use foam tape. I didn't want to risk my string getting attached to anything, so I just did it like that. I left this kind of plain so you can put larger photos there. And then this, of course, folds in. And then this folds in. And then this is little flip-flops that I did. Those, the little starfish. And this is where I actually had the little ball clipped too. Maybe I could just clip him to here. Alrighty. And then used that relax word. Did that again. Have that little yellow owlet there. And it's just attached to this pocket. And then another tag here with that border on and pretty paper. And I should have used those borders a lot more. I don't think I really used that many through the center. I might have to go through and see what I can add to. And then this here, using that sand dollar on the front there. And then that goes in like that. And that is all she wrote. Now that's what I have to watch about that one falling out. But then that's when we have this little belly band, or belly strap, whatever you want to call it. And it just lines up. Fairly simple. But yeah, I think it turned out adorable. I actually tied those in a way that would kind of keep that from being all sticking out everywhere. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I like it like that. So, okay. Well, that is what I have, and you'll have to let me know what you think about it. I think it turned out really cute. I had so much more fun making this. I don't know what it is about using things that... I think it's because I was using leftover pieces, and I thought, well, if it don't work out, and if I mess it up, I'm not... I mean, the paper sacks, literally, you buy a pack of these, and they're like, what? $1.25 maybe at, you know, Dollar Tree or something like that. I think I got these at my local Dollar General, but still, they're not a couple bucks. So, and of course, you can get different sized ones as well. But yeah, so there's my cute little beach album. I hope you like it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below. And if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for that. If you are not and you would like to see more videos that I put out, click that subscribe button, and then you can click that notification bell, and you will be notified when I do upload videos. And thank you so much for watching.